I just have one question for you. Truth or dare? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Stalk by GG 101. Today is Monday, which can only mean one thing. It's time for a recap, review, whatever of a movie. That's right. Mondays is now Movie Mondays, and this was suggested by one of the Merpod members, Skyla. Thank you for this recommendation. So every Monday I will be bringing you a recap, review, whatever of some sort of movie. It could be a present movie, it could be an old movie, but either way you look at it, you're getting a recap, review, whatever of a movie that I have seen, that I feel the need to share my thoughts and opinions all with you. So, the Merpod Squad, the OG Merpod Squads from my first recap, review, whatever, success of Pretty Little Liars, asked me if I would be watching Truth or Dare. Why? Because RB is in Truth or Dare. Now, if you are a new member that watched me because of Sirens, I used to do recap, review, whatever's on Pretty Little Liars, and Aria Montgomery, played by Lucy Hale, was a main character on the show, and we as the Merpod know her as RB. Someone will explain to you what RB stands for down below. So, the RB people of the world, you know, like the Merpod Squad, was asking me if I would be reviewing or watching this movie and give my review on it because RB is in it. And I could not disappoint you guys because number one, I saw the trailer and my first thought was, yo, this looks like a movie I would want to see. And number two, I'm sorry, did you not learn your lesson after 7 years of Pretty Little Liars? I think one thing Pretty Little Liars taught all of us is that we definitely should not be playing games with strangers we don't know. You should probably stop drinking because bad things always happen to you, and you should probably stop answering text messages from unknown numbers because nothing good ever comes of that. But Lucy Hale did not learn her lesson, and here we are with a recap, review, whatever of Truth or Dare. So, Truth or Dare is basically this movie. The whole entire movie is about playing Truth or Dare, and you are gonna die if you do not complete your dare or you do not tell the truth. That's it. That's the whole entire movie. Literally. That is the meat of the movie. Now, I will say this before we get into it more in depth, because I know that's what you came for, more in depth. Was the movie scary? No. Was the movie funny in a lot of ways? Yes. Kind of, sort of. It had its moments. Is Lucy Hale still an RB in this movie? She is, because her character Olivia mirrors the character of Aria. So let's get right into this review. So, Olivia, who is played by Lucy Hale, who still is RB, so she will be RB in this review as well. RB starts off the movie with her sitting there and doing a Facebook Live encouraging people to join Habitat of Humanities to help build homes in like Costa Rica or something for spring break instead of going off, you know, and doing what they inevitably end up doing. How serendipitous. Just want to throw that out there. How serendipitous. So, after ending the video, her best friend comes in and she's all like, yo, we have to go. Like, the world's gonna tear us apart. Like, it was a total, like, Susan Lucci moment. I don't know why everybody wants to act like Susan Lucci. She had, like, this whole Susan Lucci moment. It was being melodramatic, and Aria was still like, no, I can't go. I volunteered. I'm a leader, da-da-da-da-da. And her friend was like, oh, that's cool, because I texted them and told them that you had shingles and you can't go anyway, so you have no choice. And she was like, what? Like, back up. If I make plans and somebody goes behind my back and, like, does identity theft and tells someone I canceled those plans, I'm gonna slap fire out of you, because that is so disrespectful. So then she tries to, like, balance out the disrespectfulness with, like, well, if you go, then, like, we will all go and build houses. When are you gonna go? This y'all last year in college. All y'all need to get a job. So, I don't understand how this gonna work. And clearly RB didn't have enough common sense to hack out this was gonna work, but she goes anyway. So her BFF, Marky, is dating Tyler Posey. And, like, clearly there's some sort of connection between her and Tyler Posey as they're packing up the car to go to Mexico. But what we did not know at that moment, because at first it just seemed like, okay, there's like a little love thing going on, you know, they like each other. But then you see her best friend Marky come up and kiss him, and you're like, oh, a drama. I mean, it was like Pretty Little Liars in a movie, to be 100% honest. But cool. They go to Mexico. Everybody's drinking, having fun or whatever. RB is not really into that scene. She goes off to the bar to get a drink by herself. And one of the guys from her college comes up and he's being a total jerk. And then this other guy comes in, which we would later come to know as Carter, comes in and tries to act like Captain Save-A-Ho, like, you need to leave her alone. If I was her, I'd slap you. Da-da-da-da-da. So, of course, Jork Boy is all like, what'd you say? And so RB breaks it up. And then for the rest of the night, they're sitting there talking, RB and Carter. So her friends come over because the bar ends, because only in the state of New York do bars stay open after 1 o'clock in the morning. You open till 5. And then you can do it all over again at 10. So her friends are like, yo, let's just go back to the hotel and drink. But then the lush friend, Penelope, her mom should have named her La Vodka, because that's all she drank in the movie, okay? She's all like, no, it's our last night in Mexico. I don't want to be in the hotel drinking. So Carter's like, I know a spot where we can go and hang out. So her boyfriend, Penelope's boyfriend, is like, yeah, I'm down. Hold up. Who are you? So RB is all like, come on guys, let's just do it. It'll be fun. Why is it always RB that's leading everybody to their freaking deaths? Lucy Hale, I don't know what is it about you that keeps getting cast as these kind of characters, but you need to rethink your life. Okay? So they go off and they go through the wilderness, and then they go through a gated that has a slit in it that says do not enter, and they're like chilling inside of this old abandoned church that's clearly run down. And he's like, let's play a game of truth or dare. And at first they're all like, how old are we? 5? What are we doing? No, we're not doing that. So then he's like, oh, come on. Like, if you play it right, then you can get people to say and do things that they wouldn't normally do. So of course, because everybody has a little bit of a-hole in them, they was like, yeah, let's play. And that is where their fate begins. So they start playing Truth or Dare, and at first it's like really innocent, no problem, Bob, like whatever. They finally get to Carter, because the whole entire time, Carter isn't saying anything. So they get people to excuse me, not convince, but like confess to things that have happened, like how they're feeling or whatever. So like they got RB to confess that she was in love with Tyler Posey or had feelings or whatever, and they get into an argument. So everybody just stops and they're finally like, Carter, truth or dare? He's like, truth. And they were like, well, what are your intentions with our innocent little friend Olivia? Olivia wasn't that innocent. So he was all like, well, basically, she was innocent and naive, and I needed all of you guys to come here because I have no problem with strangers dying if it means that I get to live. And so, of course, that put a halt on everybody's parade. Like, you want to talk about no rain on my parade? He put a full-blown avalanche on their parade because everybody's like, schmurp, what? So he's all like, I'm sorry, I have to go. He runs off. Olivia runs after him. He tells Olivia that basically him and his friends came here to play a game, and the game got too lit, basically, and now most of his friends are dead, and he needed to bring you guys here to continue the game so that way he could be left alone. So he said the rules of the game is that you have to do whatever you're told to do. So if you pick a dare, you have to do the dare. If you don't, you die. If you get a truth and you don't tell the truth, then you die. So you have to make sure that you're telling the truth, right? So this is the whole premise of the movie. And of course, nobody believes what's going on. They go back to college and everything's normal, but then it starts with Aria because it was actually Aria's turn to go truth or dare. So she's seeing truth or dare everywhere and she keeps trying to ignore it. Much like them getting text messages from A. They keep trying to ignore it, but A just keeps popping up everywhere. Did I, Marlena King, create this movie? Because there's way too much similarity. I just realized this. Like, alright, whatever. Back to the story. So Aria's the first one since they get back to do Truth or Dare. And she basically exposes that her best friend Marky, like, constantly cheats on Tyler Posey's character, Lucas I think his name was, all the time. And of course that causes a problem. So this was like the first sign of RB, because homegirl could have picked dare, but she chose to pick a truth. So she's trying to convince everybody that this game is really alive and that Carter wasn't lying. And they don't believe her until the dick boy who was like messing with her at the bar, he gets a truth or a dare and he picks dare and he chooses not to do it. And then he commits suicide. And then ish gets really real. And now people are starting to believe them. But not all of their friends are believing them, until all of them one by one start to get truth or dare, and then they all one by one start to die. So naturally they're trying to figure out like what is happening, what's going on. They do some research. They find out that there was this girl that's been wanted because she killed somebody in Mexico, and they see video surveillance. Now this same girl that they saw, we actually see her in the very beginning of the movie. She's at a convenience store, she's asking for cigarettes and in Mexico, and the guy says, he gets a phone call and he says truth or dare, and she's like, I don't want to play anymore, and he's like, that's not an option, truth or dare. Next thing we know, she sets this woman on fire. So when they see that video clip, first of all, it had perfectly clear audio. I don't know what video clip they was playing that had perfectly clear audio like that, but like that surveillance camera was a G. So they watch it and you actually hear the guy asking her, do you want to play cash or debit? He didn't really say truth or dare to her, but because of the game, she heard it. So they go and meet up with her. Marky sends her a message from Olivia's Facebook page and meets up with, you know, her to try and get more information. So she basically just says that her and her friends were playing a game, and that in a church, and one of the people trashed the church, so she thought that it was like payback or whatever, and that it was her turn, and that she was dared to kill Olivia. But Penelope jumps in front of Olivia and loses her life, and because the girl didn't like complete her mission, she ends up shooting herself in the head. Like, you guys, there's so much killing going on in this movie, and it's not killing at the hands of any killer. It's really like, it's crazy. So upon more research, they find out that this church was abandoned and that there was only one survivor from this whole entire massacre. So she obviously lives in Mexico. So they go to Mexico and they meet with this woman and they talk to this woman, and I'm not understanding. I guess there's some sort of time lapse between the truths or dare, because I don't understand how they had time to drive all the way to Mexico, which was apparently 3 hours away from them, before being asked truth or dare again. You know, this thing picks and chooses. They meet with this woman. The granddaughter opens the door. She says she hasn't spoken in 50 years, so I don't know how she's going to talk to you. She might see you. The woman begins to write, and she tells them this story about how she was a nun with some of her friends, and they were sent as girls to go to this church, to the convent or whatever, but the priest was a creep, and like he would play hide or seek, and whoever he caught, he would like, you know, rape them. And so one of the girls said that she knew some sort of voodoo that could stop him, some sort of like, man, his name was Lex something, like Lex Luthor, I don't know, we're gonna call him Lex, and he's a demon. So he took the game of like hide and seek or whatever, and he made it like this demonic thing. So he killed the priest, but he wanted to keep going. So they had to do a sacrifice by saying this like whole like seance thing 7 times, and then someone had to cut out their tongue and then put it in this jar and seal it with wax, and that's what like kept the guy in there. So what ended up happening was when Carter and that other chick were in Mexico in that house playing around, Carter had trashed the place and he had let loose the original sacrifice. So Lex came in and he took their game of truth or dare and made it demonic. And he was actually, Carter was dared to find another group of friends to bring them to continue the game, right? Okay. So they go and they get this Carter guy that had been like, you know, hidden or whatever, and they have him come and say, okay, you're coming, takes a gun, holds him up at gunpoint, all this other crazy stuff, and they're like, you're gonna come and you're gonna sit here and you're gonna do this, right? So they didn't tell him that he had to cut out his tongue. It was just like, you need to say this 7 times. So they're like, you need to cut out your tongue, and at this point the only people left is RB, her best friend Marky, and Tyler Posey's character. Tyler Posey is the next one to have to pick truth or dare, and he chooses not, he picked dare, but he chose not to do the dare. So he tries to walk away. Marky brings him back, and they're trying to save him, but this Lex demon thing like pushes both of them out of the way and kills the guy who's supposed to do the sacrifice, because the only person that could do the sacrifice was the person who broke the curse in the first place. So now that he's dead, nobody can break the curse. Tyler Posey is still dead. Arya decides that she's going to like have her friend pick Dare. She picks Dare. He dares her to kill Olivia. So she shoots Olivia, but Olivia doesn't get shot. So now, you know, the friend becomes essentially the demon, and she's all like, truth or dare. And he's like, she asks him truth or dare, and he's like, it doesn't go that way. He was like, but the rule is that anyone who answers has to play, right? So he was like, truth. She was like, how do you end this game? He's like, you can't. The only person who could end the game, I killed. So this is what's confusing. Now that that's over, technically Arya is supposed to ask Marky, truth or dare. But instead she realizes that the game is never going to end, so they have to keep having more players so that way their turn is extended. So you know what she does? You know what she does? She chooses to be an RB. Because you know what she does? Yeah. God, it made me so mad. This hoe gets on Facebook Live, and apparently this video goes viral. She was like, me and my friends, we were in Mexico, and we were playing this game, Truth or Dare, and we didn't know that, like, it was gonna be real, and, like, everybody's dying, so now I have to ask you, truth or dare. And she broadcast this for the world to see. The video goes viral, and now everybody in the world has seen this video and has been asked this question of truth or dare. Now the whole entire world is trapped in the game of truth or dare, and she did it so that way she and Marky didn't have to die. RB. R freaking B. You guys, that ending made me so angry. RB made me so angry throughout this whole entire movie because she's RB, you know. It made me so mad. You guys have no clue how angry it made me, because it was like, how selfish are you? So instead of you and your friend just, you know, dying, because it was really your fault, because had you not gone off with the rando guy, you and your friends would not have been in this predicament. Okay? You just wouldn't have been in this predicament. So instead of just being like, yo, my bad, like, I messed up, let me take the sacrifice, this, that, and the third, you decide to just screw the whole entire world. So let's just get into the overall recap, review, whatever, of this movie. Was it a scary movie? Absolutely not. No, it was not scary at all. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do. Why? Because it was still a very entertaining movie. I don't recommend you paying $21 to see the movie, so definitely go check it out on Matinee. But it was still a really good movie. I like the concept behind it. Like, the point wasn't to be a horror movie, and what made it, like, different is that there isn't a set killer. In fact, the killing is not telling the truth and not holding up to your word. Wow! Moral twist! I didn't even think about that. You get killed for not owning up to your truth. For not telling the truth, you die. And for not keeping your word, you die. Wow! You know, if that game was real, we'd all be dead. That movie was so deep. So deep. Wow. Mind blown. You see, this is like talk therapy for me. You know, I tell you guys about these things and then revelations. Wow. You guys, that is all that I have for you today. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more recap, review, or whatevers, or if you enjoyed me and you want to see more from me, then you know what to do. You need to be part of the GG Meister Merp Pod Squad and come swimming with us on all of our adventures. How might you do that? You're probably asking. Well, it's simple. All you have to do is rate, comment, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring. And I'll be seeing you in my next video. Loves and likes ya. Bye. see you Thursday for Sirens. And if you want more of me, you should probably check out the Merpod Adventures, my vlog channel.